The Pfizer documents are out. Nobody has seen Fauci. Nobody. Fauci disappeared. Pretty soon, the Jimmy Hoffa mystery might be replaced with Fauci at this point. Um, yeah, so in the last week, I think it might have been longer than that. We've had the release of more studies on Kim Iverson Mecadidin, and if you take out the extra on that, you know what I'm talking about. Uh, yeah, so there's been studies on that form of treatment, and we had the court mandated release of all the documents Pfizer had about their vaccine before it was approved for emergency use status. Good time. So, there's two videos in particular that I think would explain it a hell of a lot better than me. I'm going to have a link to both of those down below because Dr. Campbell, he kind of became a YouTube star at the beginning of all this, and if you listen to a lot of the things that he said and he was learning along the way that was not being shared with the mainstream media, you probably fared better than most people. He was the guy that came out and said, you know, we're getting intel that vitamin D is a big component to surviving this thing, and that might be some clue as to why people with darker skin are not favoring all that well. Yeah, he's the guy that didn't call stuff racist, he just called it how it is. Funny how that works. So there was the first batch of studies that came out concluding that a certain treatment that was viewed as a dewormer for various animals actually saved up to 70% of the people who had taken this medication, whether it was after they contracted the virus or as a preventative. Funny how that works. So he has that video where he goes over all the data. The test groups that were used were larger than usually mandatory for doing these kind of studies, so the numbers and everything is looking pretty good on that. And then there's the Pfizer documents. 56,000 pages altogether. There's various forms of it. There's the actual data, which I believe is the majority of these pages of stuff that nobody in their right mind could actually go through completely. This is gonna take a group effort, and unfortunately, with the people we have in charge who have been working on spreading this narrative of the only way out of this predicament is by taking this certain form of medication slash medical procedure, however you want to view it. I highly doubt that the FDA, the CDC, the NIH, any of these letter programs are going to dive deep into this because they're going to be found guilty as too. And yeah, so Pfizer, there was what, 1,200 different side effects that were listed from their clinical studies, including, let's see here, premature birth resulting in stillborns, the usual stuff, rashes, what was kidney failure, I believe, was in there, the myocarditis, heart attacks, strokes, inflammation of the brain. Yeah. Campbell will show you several pages in a row, single spaced, no paragraphs, where it is just a continuous list of all the things that were shown to be possible side effects from taking this certain procedure. And at the end, he's just like, I don't know how this was approved. I don't know how they came to this conclusion. So this is just an initial look at these documents. His video does have several links in the description showing you where to go in order to view these things in whole. I'm contemplating actually going through and collecting all this data, downloading it, and then posting it on my website. I do have the links available on there if you'd like to check it out, collapseexperiment.com. There's also links to both of his videos on the collapseexperiment.com. So there's a hell of a lot more information on that website as well. I've been trying to keep up on everything, and it's exhausting. Yeah, Pfizer, I do believe that once the Biden administration is out of office, whoever comes in next, if there isn't a manhunt by the DOJ, if there aren't, well, let's face it, congressional committees, they don't do shit. It's just it's a public show to say, like, hey, we care about this topic. They'll convene. Nothing will be done. Nothing will be said. Well, we looked into it, didn't we? And the guilty parties will be allowed to continue to profit and enjoy themselves and not be in a fucking prison cell. So, I would say skip the committee, go straight to the Department of Justice. The FBI, they enjoy acting like a bunch of goons. Send in the ATF. I'm sure these people own dogs. I mean, it's not the dog's fault who the owner is, but I don't know. And in the words of the Secretary of State under Obama, perhaps they should have picked a better owner. I don't know. It's not like we were killing innocent kids back then with drone strikes and then claiming that, they should have had a better dad or anything, right? For the last 2 years, the majority of the planet has been, I don't know, abused and tortured by horrible people for far too long. And I'd like to think that their day is coming. Because at this point, now they're trying to use the whole war with Ukraine, possible World War III, to tell you, well, it's for your own mental health to just forget the pandemic. I mean, it'd be a good thing, right? Why would you want to hold on to that? We should all just move on. Yeah, and, he didn't really mean to hit you. He really loves you. He just, sometimes I run my mouth, and I shouldn't do that. And it's cost me like 3 or 4 teeth, and yeah, he's banging the girl next door. But hey, she's pretty hot, and I can't really blame him for that. Maybe I should work out more, but then I won't get the house cleaning done, and then, if I don't get that done, he'll just slap me. We're basically acting like an abused housewife in a horrible situation where maybe it's time that the husband just kind of disappears. So yeah, I am calling for a national Thelma and Louise. People keep talking about this whole divorce thing, and you know what? Screw that. Lawyers cost too much. They're only profiting from your misery. I'm already miserable. I don't want to be with these people anymore. Why would I have to subject myself to another horrible situation with a horrible person who's going to sink my coffers dry when I can just leave, take a road trip, bang Brad Pitt, drive my car off a cliff, do whatever the hell I want? I'm a free person. I have that right. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm calling for a national Thelma and Louise separation. Let him have all the stuff. Yeah, who cares? He's going to go ahead and be miserable and get his STDs and do whatever the hell he wants because he does that anyways. I'm going to live my life. Damn straight. So, uh, if there's one lesson that we should be learning from this information coming out, it is what I've pretty much known all along. Do not trust these people. They don't have your best interest at heart. They will profit from you and grandma being dead at the blink of an eye. And I don't trust them when it comes to World War III either. So, yeah, I think they're. Let's summarize this. I think they're just bringing in the Great Reset. That hasn't been brought up for a while. And I think either through nuclear war or the release of a certain virus, potentially both. I mean, they do want, like, what, 90% of us gone by 2030? Because they love you and they care about you. The world is turning into a weird death cult. And I think people should be remembering Heaven's Gate at this point. Because, yeah, let's turn off fossil fuels. But thermonuclear war, that's on the table. That's an option. That's what our government is telling us. And I think if there's any sign that things are not as great as they seem, uh, that should be the big clue for everyone. Is that, don't complain about high gas prices, but also be assured that if Putin presses the button, we have more buttons to push. Yeah, they don't care about you. Keep on typing.